Afternoon. Class, we gonna do an answer to this question that we didn't do in the class. It's from page 27 of your F6 notes. Right, basically they would like us to work out the chargeable income, the tax payable for both Y 2011 and 2012. Right, so they tell us that you're the agent to Mr. Bobby Yap and that he's given you details for business 1, business 2, interest, rental. Now we have the gross expenditure. So these are questions from the earlier chapters, so we do not have a lot of complicated adjustment. Just say that, let's assume that 20% is capital, so only 20% you're going to get deduction. Then we have BC, CA, business 2, expenditure, note 2, say assume that 30% is disallowed, so 70% qualifies for deduction. BA, BC, unabsorbed loss. Interest, the interest from bank to individual is tax exempt. The interest from giving loans to relative, you tax this. Then donation. Right, the list of donations that we have here. Now cash to approved institution, yes, is qualified. Max is 7% of aggregate. Now painting, unless you donate to the art gallery, national or state, or unless it's of historical values that you donate to government, so in this case it's not qualified. Donating cash to library, yes. Books, no. This must be cash. Cash to approved sports body, yes. Project of national interest, yes. Healthcare, yes. Medical equipment, now both in the same category. Maximum you can claim just 20k. Alright, so we're gonna try answering this question. Okay, I'm gonna show both year of assessment together. Two 2011, 2012. Alright. Okay, so first we're gonna start off with 4A business. Okay, so questions given you in gross, so you're going to start with gross, so using 3 columns, 30,000. Right, we're going to claim tax expenses, which will just be 80% of the expenditure. It's going to be 16. Right, this is my adjusted. 14. So in questions they tell us this balancing charge, so the balancing charge is 1,000, and then the capital allowance is 18. So with plus 1 minus 18, you're gonna get minus 17, right? But you have insufficient income, so the CA absorb will just be 14,000. Bring our statutory income for business 1 is nil. Okay, sorry, so business 1. Now this will bring us an unabsorbed CA carry forward 3k. Okay. Alright, now for business 2, so same thing, gross is 18, the tax expenses 70% of the expenditure, so you're gonna get 10,005. Right guys, that's my adjusted 75. Alright, we've been told that there's no balancing charge, but it's a balancing allowance, which is 1,005, and the capital allowance 6,000. So the C absorbed will be exactly 7.5. It's the amount of income that we have here. Statutory income is nil. Okay, now having two business statutory income, just combine them, call them that's the aggregate business statutory income. Agreed? And the question said that you have an unabsorbed business loss, and that's where you claim your unabsorbed business loss. But of course, with not sufficient income, there's no loss for you to claim, so you're going to carry forward once more. So that's my net aggregate business SI. Agree? Alright, now finish off with 4A business. We have 4C, basically interest. So there's two sources over here. One is from the bank, which is tax exempt, from loan to relative, which is taxable, and then we have 4D rental, so the adjusted statutory income is given 52,000. Alright, so it's no other income, it's just these two, so 67 is my aggregate. So ask yourself, what do you claim after aggregate? First is you must claim this current year business loss, which is not in this case, then followed by donations. Okay, there's a couple of donations that we are having here. I think I've got not enough space, so I'm going to show these at the back. Okay. Alright, so my first donation is the cash to approved institution. That maximum will be 7% of your aggregate. So if you look at your aggregate, is 67,000. So 7% is 4,690, and let us see, we just have 2K over here. No problem, you can claim that. So painting is not an approved donation, nil. Right, the cash to libraries 6,000, and books are not an approved donation. Alright, now the cash to the healthcare center, cash to healthcare center, as well as the medical equipment. So if you would like to show separately, then what you can do is you can show both figure in this way, 20, but maximum 20. This to indicate that you're aware that the limits of both is 20,000. Alright, then we come back to the sports and the project to national interest. Right, so guys, still remember the workings that we prepare over here. So you're going to take 7% of your aggregate, which is 67,000, and you minus off with donation to the approved institution. So you've got this as 2, right? So that will bring you to 2690, and you make comparison with the actual donations, which comes to 6,005 in total, and you claim the lower. So if that's the case, the lower is 2690, right? Okay. So you've got all the donations here. So you can now work out the total. 67. It's 36,310. Right, so that's my total income. This is an earlier example that before we covered personal relief. So in this example, we just have one simple relief, which is a personal deduction of 9,000. That's it. Right, that's my chargeable income. So 27,310. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna work out the tax later on once you finish off my second year. Okay. So what's in the second year? Alright, so for 2012, my business one, it's a gross of 65, and with 80% deduction, that's 40. It's bringing my adjusted income to 25. Alright, now there's this capital allowance carry forward last year, 3,000, including with your current year. So this 3 plus 10, 13. Is the whole thing absorbed. So statutory is 12. Right, for business 2, gross is 20, deductions is 21. Now that will bring us to an adjusted loss, but you don't show loss in your answer. Instead, you must show adjusted income that's nil. Alright, we have a balancing charge in this year. The amount is 6,008, and you have the capital allowance of 2,000. So it's still a net charge of 4,008, bringing our statutory income to 4,800. So the aggregate is 16,800. Now we had an unabsorbed business loss last year that we didn't absorb, which is 5,000. So if you're going to carry forward to this year, so that's 5. It's 11,800. And the interest is tax exempt. Rental is 56. So the aggregate, the 6, 7, 8. Right, we have a current year loss of 1,000. Now show the donations. So 7% of 678 would be 4746. So you can't claim 5, you just claim 4746. Cash donation to library 6,000. The healthcare is 10, and you will not get deduction for sports project of national interest because you've got the full maximum of 7% here, and minusing this, the amount is 0, so it's going to get the lower as 0, so there will be no deduction. When the exam, please show working, okay? Alright, so my total income would be 46,054 minusing 9 is 37,054. Right, tax on the first 20,000, 475, and the 7310. What's your tax rate? Whereas on the first 35,000, 1525, the next 2054, we're going to take the tax rate. Right, so I'm going to refer to the tax rates. So after 20,000, 7% and 12%. So we have 511.7, and we have 24,648. Right, guys, you just show your tax payable. Alright, show your tax payable. So just one last note here, it's when you see that your chargeable income does not exceed 35,000, you're gonna get a tax rebate of 400. Okay, so that will bring you to the net tax payable of X amount. So just work out the answers yourself, will you? Okay. Alright, so again, that's the answers to the question on page 27. Alright, so use this to revise back so that you recall the format of your tax computation. Okay, thank you.